Joanne. This is To Crochet Curious. Well, things were making Thursday, and um, we've got a bunch going on today. First of all, the June project is complete. You're going to hear a story about that because this thing gave me fits, I'm telling you. And we're going to introduce the new pattern. So, for the month of July. And this one's going to be very interesting. I hope that you will join us. I put a brief description um, that I add to my videos every week for things we're making Thursday. So I'm going to put that in here. Hi, friends. I'm just going to jump in here and mention the details of things we're making Thursday. Things We're Making Thursday is a collaboration among many channels. It started with just a few, but there's so many people now that have joined. And so everyone that I am aware of who has joined will be mentioned in the description box. And every month there will be a free pattern that will be announced. The last Thursday of the prior month, we will announce the new pattern for the following month. And if you are interested in joining us, you certainly can do that either as a channel, just like us, or you can go to Facebook and join the Facebook group, or you can email any of us pictures of what you've made along with us, and we will show them on our channels. Now, there is a theme song. You heard it. I'm sure you've heard it on one or more channels. And that theme song was written by Jess at Hook Magic and her husband. And Heather at Strings and Threads keeps us organized as a group, giving us information and so forth. And I just wanted to invite you to join us if that's what you'd like to do. And I'll just use this little clip on all of my Thursday videos. And if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out via email, and we'll do our best to answer them. If you would like to join along, just stay tuned. Every Thursday and the last Thursday of the month, you'll see what the new pattern is going to be. So we'll see you soon on Things We're Making Thursday. So I'm going to put that in here. And then we will review the project for June and see how it turned out. All right, so the June project that we have finished is the Lily Sugar and Cream Rainbow Hexagon Beach Bag to Crochet. And this is from the Yarn Inspirations website, but it is a pattern supplied by Lily Sugar and Cream. And there's no person listed as the designer. It just belongs, I guess, to the company. So we had put together all the information. It's been in every, in every version of this month's progress. Put in the video for that Mikey from the Crochet Crowd did, so that if you wanted to also make it, you could see how it's put together and so forth. Well, this thing, I'm telling you, gave me fits. It was a combination of slightly unclear instructions and also I don't know. The lining part was very difficult for me because wanting to line it, I made, well, first I have this gorgeous yarn, right? I love this yarn. I love this material. This is a really light corduroy. I don't know if you can see the corduroy detail on it. If I get close enough, you can just barely see it. So it's a really fairly light corduroy. It's pretty thin. But the colors match my bag so beautifully. It's really fun. And my picture too. So I'll pop up a picture of what the bag looks like on the website. This is the black and white version, and then there's a picture here for the color version. And here is my finished bag. I got my handles on, but here's the thing. These, it kind of fans out at the sides. So I decided, I went off book. I know you guys are shocked. I didn't follow the pattern exactly. I sewed all this together. This part worked out okay, but as you can see, there's some fanning out at the top. Well, if you make a rectangular insert for it, and then you try to put it in a non-rectangular purse or bag, it's going to give you fits. So, and I probably was supposed to put the handles like here, because if you could see on this picture, see the handles are kind of closer to the center than they are to the edge, but the edges don't match, so you don't have like spots to attach. Like on this side, you could attach the handles here, and that would make sense. But when you turn it around, you'll be attaching the handles in the middle of the motifs, which doesn't make sense. So that's why I opted to move the handles to the outside. And I was originally going to twist my handles, but I attached them before I twisted them, so I ended up having to sew them together the way the pattern called for, which turned out okay. I thought it would be harder, but it wasn't too bad. And they feel very sturdy. I haven't put anything in the bag yet. But as you can see, the tops of my motifs are cut off. And that is because I couldn't deal with the weird inside. So what I've done is I've lined it, and then I folded these down roughly equally on either side. And now when you hold the bag, it does this, which I think is fine. So I've lined it, and all I did was I sewed it, because again, you can see, look, it's not even. So I have a pure rectangle inside of here. So what I did is I did not attach it all the way down. I have attached it on the side to here, and then the bag hangs in the bottom. I mean, the liner is hanging above the bottom down to the end. So I didn't have to make it fit at the bottom like I had to make it fit at the top. So that was my way of getting around that. So, of course, oh, it was a challenge. And I kept like putting it down and like, oh, what am I doing? Because, you know, there's a part of me that wants things to be symmetrical, I guess, which shocks me, but seems to be true. So, you know, I also like covered over where this attaches by sealing this part up, and that it gives it a like a knob on the corners here, but it also helps to anchor these things a little better, I think. So anyway, I'm satisfied with the way this worked, and it is big enough. I could crossbody it if I wanted to, although it would ride quite high on me, but I can carry it like this quite easily. And oh my gosh, that might be going with me on vacation to put my project in that I work on in the car. That would be cool. So I'm really happy with it. But oh my gosh, it'll probably be an eon before I make another one. Unless I can figure out how to do it in a way that is more symmetrical less of a pain in the neck. So that is June's project. And I followed fairly closely the yarn required. I did change up the colors on the handle. I was supposed to use these two blues on the handle, but instead I had a lot more of this green left, so I went with what I had the most yarn. I forgot to mention that. So thanks for joining me on this one. And okay, now we're going to introduce the new pattern. You're going to love it. This is another departure from anything I've ever done, so hopefully it's not quite as, as trauma-inducing. This one, I will post a picture of it here. It is from, I don't have the attribution on here. Hold on. All right, so our July project is by DeliaCreates.com, and it is a raffia bucket hat. Let me see the exact name. Here is raffia crochet bucket hat free pattern. So free pattern, and there is also a video tutorial if you need it. I took the I printed out the free instructions and took the pictures out so I could get it on a sheet. So basically the pattern has the rounds and how to block it at the end. Also, at the beginning of the pattern, which I did not print out, it says how much yardage you need of the raffia. Now, I was searching Amazon for raffia to see if I could find something I liked. And I ended up getting this. I thought this is going to make a very cool hat. And what I did was I had to get 2 of them, though, because that was in feet. And it wasn't enough yardage for what it called for. And, if you divide it by 3 on the feet, then you know how many yards it is, and it wasn't enough. So I had to get 2 of them, and so I'll have extra. So who knows? I'll make something else out of it. But what I did today when it came is I wanted to just see what it was like to crochet with. And so I made a little chain and then just did a little crocheting and looping and double crocheting and whatever, and it's not bad. So I thought it might be very brittle and I'd have a hard time and it would break and stuff, but as long as you crochet loosely, I think it'll be fine. So I'm going to get going on that project, and if turns out I have enough of this, I also saw a free pattern on her website for a beach bag made out of the same stuff. That'd be kind of cool to have a bag and a hat out of the same raffia. So anyway, so much for that. Now see, I'm frogging it. It's frogging just fine, and it looks a little crinkly, but honestly it's just gonna get crocheted together, so no biggie, I don't think. So I'll get started on it, and I may not update next week. I don't know, because I will be out of town, and I don't know how it's going to go. So we'll just see. We'll roll with it. But thank you for joining me, and be sure and join the Facebook group, because there's a lot of people doing the projects there, and they show their work and share their angst, and it's good to get the feedback from other people. So thank you. You guys have a great evening, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.